So early on in my career, I had an interest in learning to do past life therapy because I was always interested and fascinated in reincarnation theory, and had already taken some courses in hypnosis. And I was actually presenting at a conference, this could be about 30 years ago. Wasn't quite yet trained, but I had an experience which gave me a sense of the need to hold on to good, sound, professional um, assessment, um, the need for assessment as to who we would work with in doing any kind of regressive hypnosis approach. So at this conference, we were staying overnight. It was for a weekend, and it was here in Charlottesville. And somebody just allowed themselves to be worked with somebody who I believe was not trained as a therapist, and who, however, had learned some of the techniques of doing past life therapy. And this individual was regressed and traveled into a time when she was experiencing being in the throes of a body that wasn't functioning well. How it came to my attention was I was walking outside and I heard a curdling scream coming from the conference room. And people, when I walked in, I saw this woman all contorted, and people were saying, what's going on with her? And they said somebody was just working with her, and she got really, she started looking like she was in some form of paralysis and wanting to throw off this experience, saying, no, I'm not this person. No, I'm not this person. It was really, really decompensating very badly. And people looked to me because there weren't a lot of other clinicians there, and I was on the panel. So somehow or other, I was granted this, you need to step in here and help us. And I took her outside and tried to orient her. And I'll be honest with you, it was quite frightening to enter into that situation and realize that this woman had, I guess, naively allowed herself to put herself in the hands of this individual who not only was not able to help her, but left her in the throes of the crisis and just disappeared. Nobody knew where this person went. So for me, the dilemma there was, one, I was still a little bit cautious about coming out. I didn't want to get marginalized in my own community, as I had only been in the area for 5 years, even though I was super fascinated by a lot of the topics we were talking about. But after that, I took some training in a number of different approaches. One is I trained for a couple of years with Roger Woolger as a past life therapist. And it leads me to always want to keep in mind that we're working with people who have exceptional or supernormal experiences, but we still need to keep ourselves grounded in knowing, like, who can tolerate, working in certain ways. Like, I wouldn't just have somebody, I don't hang a shingle as a past life therapist, although if I feel like I've worked with somebody and have done a considerable amount of discovery and looking around their life and trying to understand what in this present life might contribute to some of the problems they're having, I'm willing to do some regression and follow where they go. And it's been very productive for individuals. But I wouldn't just let somebody walk in the door and just start doing regression with them right off the bat, because I see that if I don't have the opportunity to do a fair assessment of how grounded they are, I could lead to something where you don't know what you're going to find when you start trying to get behind people's defenses. They might not have the structure to be able to handle what comes forth, and you don't have the established relationship. So that was an interesting experience for me, because I didn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I see the benefit of doing these kinds of alternative approaches, but I think we need to keep one foot solidly grounded in what we know about how the psyche works, and also be willing to expand the boundaries a little bit to be willing to open up to other alternative means of accessing growth and different experiences.
Beautiful. Yeah, I really love that, and the way you put that, keeping ourselves grounded in the theory and the research that we understand about psychology, and also being open to the spiritual realm and how our personal experiences influence that. Just really is just expanding the range that we can offer to our clients.